Today, I'm going to show you how to replace the earphone pads on a pair of Beats Studio 3 wireless headset. These look a little beat up, and they are a little bit beat up, but that's basically because it was my second pair in a row that after a year, Alright, today what we're going to be doing is we're going to be replacing the ear pads on a 10-year anniversary Beats headset Studio 3. As you can see, it says established, I believe it was 06 maybe. And these replacement ones obviously don't have that, but you know, these Beats headsets, this like probably my fourth or fifth set, and every single one has issues after a year. Pretty sucky for paying $500 for them. Luckily, this set was a birthday gift. So the ear pads are bad, and the left speaker does not work. And the previous ones that I had, they quit charging. So what I've got here is I got this ear pad set, and I'll put the link from Amazon in the comments down below. That came with this little spatula thing. We're going to use that to pry these off. Some alcohol to clean it before we put the new ones on. And then obviously 2 ear pads. Then I also purchased a soldering gun, which came with some solder, a couple of tips, whatever. If you look here, this is kind of what it looks like. It's got a light on it too. I got the solder and the gun for 25 bucks at Home Depot, so no big deal. We'll see what the problem is. I haven't taken the thing apart yet, so I don't know how messy it is going to be to fix one of the headphones, but I've seen the inside of others where the wire frays, so hopefully adding a little bit of solder will help fix that. So, but the main thing here is to change out these ear pads. It is really annoying to just have one speaker playing, but yeah. Anyways, so what you do is you just stick it in this gap here, twist a little bit so you can loosen that adhesive. I seriously can't believe that I spent on other ones $500 only to have them go bad in a year. And it's funny because it's almost like every time they go bad after... Ooh, that's not good. I broke the plastic a little bit there. A little super glue will fix that. We'll see how this goes when I take these apart. Because it looks like... So we got Phillips head in there. And this... Huh. Okay, so what I've done so far is taking off this rim. You can see the adhesive on there. I didn't get that when I originally took the ear pad off, so that's important. However, I didn't want to break it, so that's why I didn't take it off initially. So here's where we're at right now. It's relatively flat. I've taken the screws out. Now I need to take off this outside bit, and it's got a notch. So I'm going to take my pry tool and just gently see if I can get it to pop off without bending it. Which I don't know if I'm doing it right. Pause. Okay, so I've currently taken out 5 screws. You can see here 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. There's 2 more at the bottom here. And these are small little things. I actually had to make a trip to Home Depot and find the very smallest screwdriver they had. And of course, I had to buy a set. Anyways, we all know that buying tools is a progressive thing rather than buying them all at once. Okay, so I'm looking at the wires here. If you can see, I don't see any wear. That's odd. Alright, well, I don't want to pull that off yet. Let's see what's on the other side of this thing. Luckily, this new screwdriver I just bought is magnetic, which makes things a heck of a lot easier. I'm just taking the screws off around the headphone jack. I don't know how much this is going to do for me. In other videos I've seen, the guy had to use adhesive remover in order to get these wires free. But I was hoping to maybe avoid that. Well, looks like that came off relatively clean. Alright, so under this piece here, which I don't know, I'm going to get it off. There we go. Little miniature QR code. So we've taken that middle screw out, and now should be able to take this off, but apparently that's not, oh, there we go. Aha. I don't know if you can see that right there. There's a broken wire or two. Okay, well, that's what I figured. Have 4 more little screws to take out here. We can get to the back side there. Totally glad they used the smallest screws possible. Alright, well, I'm going to have fun trying to solder this stuff back together. I do wish that I would have taken some advice and gotten the adhesive remover so that I could have released these wires. But I think what I'm going to do is maybe just try and scrape off some of the adhesive with a razor blade. We'll see how this works. This headset's been sitting in my trunk for more than a year now. So if I screw it up, I'm not going to be terribly sad, because basically it had one headphone working. I've so far spent $20 in the hopes of fixing them, considering I basically used them for a year. So, I mean, it's pretty crappy that they went bad after, like, and it was just outside the warranty too, which is even more like a kick in the nuts. Alright, we're gonna snap this snap this plastic piece off here. It wants to cooperate. Probably not. There we go. So I've got a whole shit show going on here. Okay. Now why aren't these wires connected to anything? there's a plug here, and that plug obviously goes right there. Aha! I got it. Those wires right there, I hope you can see, are completely cut off from these wires. Found the problem. So, being that this is a plug, boom, then I will... That's so stupid. There's so much slack over here, and there's no way that this would go through there and connect to those. That's so stupid. Alright, well, I found the problem. Happy about that. And I guess what I'll try and do is strip these tiny little wires and then solder them together. To be continued. So here's where I came into a problem, okay? This back piece here snaps off, and somehow I was not able to snap it back on 100%, okay? However, the main flaw in these headphones is that the wires go all the way around, and when you bend them and fold them like this many times, then you have a problem. Because, as I mentioned just a second ago, where there's a hard glue that glues the wires in there, some idiot decided they were going to put all the slack on one side and then go through the piece that I just pulled off and have no slack there. So when you bend these, when you fold them like they're meant to be folded, then that puts a strain on the wire on the back side here. And continuously doing that will cause the wire to break. The reason I'm telling you this is because when I finally got to the wire and soldered it and everything like that, I didn't record it. Yeah, I'm in dum-dum. Anyways, the wire on mine was just two skinny wires, a white wire and a red wire. And it looked like they were actually just sheared off just perfectly, which doesn't make a lot of sense. But when I put everything back together, I noticed that the amount of tension on the backside here on those wires was immense, based on where they were glued. They gave all the slack to the front bit and no slack to the back bit. Also, I wanted to mention that glue piece is just a little dot of hard glue. It's kind of like hot glue, but it's a little bit harder. If you just take a razor blade or something with a very thin edge and just pry it up, it should pop right off, and then that'll release the wire. However, it is extremely tricky that if you've got those sheared off wires and then you strip just a tiny little bit of the tips and solder them together, it's a pain to put the piece back on properly because you don't have any slack, and then screw it back on. I probably spent like 20 or 30 minutes trying to do this properly which is why I didn't record it, because I was frustrated. And yeah, so we'll finish the video. There'll be some bits where you can see that are before what I'm telling you now and after. All said and done, the headset ended up with both earphones working, and yeah, almost like new. Alright, so go ahead and put this back together, this piece here. I didn't get a chance to record the soldering, but there were two wires on each side and they were just completely split. So I stripped the casing of them off, put a little bit of a solder for them together, and then started to put this side back together, which is kind of a pain in the butt. And I tested it. Works now. So now I have a working headset on both sides. Now I need to just put in the last two screws on this, take this headphone or this pad off, clean them, and then just put the new pads on. Okay, that one's good. Now we have to get this one off of there. Adhesive, it can be pretty strong. Once you got it mostly off, you can just hopefully peel it the rest of the way off. And yes, if you get, if you happen to get one of the kits with the plastic tool, good luck with that, because this one came with a metal tool and it is still bending, taking this stuff off. So if you get a kit, try to make sure at least has one of these metal scraper things, because the plastic ones will break and then you won't have anything. Okay, so I got the stuff off of that one. Old ear pad. Got my alcohol pad here. Try and clean this stuff up the best I can. Which I'm going to get these all put back together, and they're not going to work. Okay, everything's cleaned off. Ear pad 1. Just take this 3M off of here. It can be a little tricky. There we go. And neither one of them says left or right, so I'm just going to put them on, you know, whatever side. But I am going to put the sewing crease towards the bottom. Actually, and you have to make sure that there's these little nubs on here, and you have to make sure that you line those up with the holes on there so that it seats properly. Press that on tight. Next one. And see, actually I was wrong, but I got it right accidentally. This one has a notch right here, and that's undoubtedly because the charging port is on one side. So you want to make sure that you get the ear pad with the notch on the charging side. Glad I didn't screw that up. Line the notches. Press it on, and voila. Now I just gotta give them a little bit of a spit shine. And this side did not want to snap on. Well, anyways, new ear pads and fixed left speaker, and there you go. Hope you enjoyed. Got plenty of other videos, so if you enjoyed this one or found it useful, don't hesitate to hit that subscribe button and give me a like if it helped you out.